Snowflake alone in the holiday season. Dakota Johnson makes fans feel heartbroken. Christmas arrives in Hollywood with dazzling lights and endless parties. But in a quieter corner, where the lights are restrained, Dakota Johnson celebrates the holiday season in a very different way. Not noisy, not ostentatious, and, most importantly, alone. Not because there's no one by her side, but because she chooses to. 1. The holiday season and the very human feeling of emptiness. Some years, Christmas brings a feeling of anticipation. Some years, it simply passes by. For Dakota, this year's holiday season is like a pause, not exactly sad, but quiet enough to make one reflect on oneself. She woke up later than usual. Outside the window, the city was covered in Christmas lights. Dakota made coffee, stood still for a few minutes, letting the warmth spread through her hands. No schedule, no invitations, no incessant phone calls. A rare morning in the life of a celebrity. 2. When being alone doesn't mean being lonely. The public often associates the word alone with sadness. But Dakota understands the difference between loneliness and being alone. She's experienced both, and she knows sometimes being alone is the only way to avoid being lost in the expectations of others. Dakota chose to read an unfinished novel from the fall. She underlined a few lines, then put the book down, not because she was bored, but because a thought suddenly came to her. She'd gone through a year too quickly. 3. Christmas lights and unanswered questions. In the afternoon, Dakota went out. She wasn't wearing heavy makeup. A long coat, a dark scarf. She walked through the crowded streets, where people hurried shopping, carrying bags, laughter echoing from the bars. There were eyes that recognized her. There were whispers, but no one came near. New York, or any major city during the holiday season, has an unwritten rule: everyone is busy with their own story. Dakota likes that. 4. What fans see, and don't see. On social media, fans are starting to notice the absence. No family photos. No cheerful Christmas greetings. No shareable moments. Questions are popping up, gentle but numerous. Is she okay? Why is Dakota alone? Did something happen? But what fans don't see is the deliberate silence. Dakota isn't turning her emotions into content. She doesn't want the holiday season to become a performance of explanation. 5. Old memories knocking. Christmas has a special ability. It brings memories back, without warning. Dakota remembers the old holiday seasons, the crowded parties, the boisterous laughter, and the moments when she stood in the middle of a crowd yet felt lost. Back then, she didn't know how to set boundaries. Now, she does. Being alone is no longer scary. It's a mature choice. 6. An unplanned evening. When it gets dark, Dakota returns home. She puts on some soft music, not upbeat Christmas carols, but slow melodies. A simple dinner, a candle, no long table, no empty chairs waiting for someone. There's a very brief moment, when she looks at the candle, and a fleeting pang of sadness. Not intense, just a slow beat of her heart. She doesn't push it away. She allows it to exist. 7. Hollywood and the pressure to be happy. In Hollywood, the holiday season is often framed by images: large families, perfect smiles, positive messages. But Dakota knows that happiness doesn't always look like that. There are years when happiness is peace. There are years when happiness is not having to explain. And there are years, like this year, when happiness is accepting the heartache without blaming yourself. 8. Fans' heartache and understanding. Fans' heartache isn't because Dakota is alone. They're heartbroken because they see themselves in that silence. Everyone's had a disappointing holiday season. Everyone stood in the spotlight and wondered, where do I stand in all of this? Dakota didn't say it, but it's that silence that makes the story real. 9. A silent message. No long posts, no official statements, Just a few small moments, Dakota walking slowly, Dakota reading, Dakota lighting candles. And in those moments, there was a wordless message. You don't need to be happy to deserve Christmas. You just need to be true to yourself. 10. Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve arrived gently. Dakota opened the window slightly, letting the cool air in. The city was still lit. Laughter echoed from afar, but in the room, everything was quiet. She sent a few Christmas greetings, short, sincere. Then she put down her phone. Not because there was no one left to talk to, but because she had said enough for today. 11. When the holiday season passes. Christmas will pass. As every year, the lights will be taken down. Life will return to its familiar rhythm. But this holiday season left Dakota with something important: the courage to be alone without fear of being misunderstood. 12. Conclusion. Heartbreaking, but not weak. Snowflake alone in the holiday season is not a sad story. It is a true story. So true that it evokes heartbreak, because it touches the heart. A quiet moment that everyone has experienced. Dakota Johnson doesn't need a perfect Christmas. She needs a Christmas that's right for her. And sometimes, that means being alone, but not feeling lost.